Lesson number 20, automated rules. So the lesson objectives here. Number one, understand what automated rules are and how they can best use to streamline your Facebook ads campaign management. Number two, learn how to set up automated rules for different aspects of your campaigns, such as budgets, bids, and ad scheduling, and how to customize them for specific goals and metrics. Explore different rule conditions and actions such as increasing or decreasing budgets, adjusting bids based on performance, and pausing ads that underperform. Now, understand how to monitor and analyze your automated rules and how to adjust them based on performance data and campaign goals. Number five, discover advanced technologies for using automated rules to scale your campaigns effectively and efficiently, such as setting up custom rules based on custom metrics and conditions. So what are automated rules? Well, automated rules inside the Meta's Ad Manager is a way to automatically manage your ads based on predefined conditions. And these rules can help you save time and optimize your ad performance by automatically making adjustments to your ads, such as updating bids, pausing or activating ads, or just adjusting budgets. So why would you use automated rules? Well, number one, time savings. Automated rules can automate repetitive tasks and save you time. Efficiency. Well, automated rules can make adjustments to your campaigns more quickly and efficiently than manual adjustments. Consistency. Automated rules ensure that your campaigns are consistently optimized based on your desired conditions, minimizing the risk for errors or oversights. And flexibility. Automated rules can be customized to fit your specific campaign goals and objectives, allowing you to scale your campaigns in a way that works best for your business. So setting up automated rules. I'm not going to go through all the single steps here. You can do this. You're going to get the documentation. It's really quite easy as we go through the setup. I'm also going to give you an over-the-shoulder look of a couple of different ideas of why you may set up some of these individual metrics. But here's all the setup instructions right here that you can grab as a screenshot or download in the handout. So let's give you a couple of examples of automated rules. Ad scheduling. Create rules that automatically pause or activate your ads based on the time of day, day of week, or other scheduling criteria. Bid management. Create rules that automatically adjust to your bids based on factors like ad performance, competition, or target audience. Budget management. Create rules that automatically adjust your budgets based on factors like campaign performance, audience, or time of day. Ad targeting. Create rules that automatically target or exclude specific audiences, locations, or devices based on behavior or demographic. And ad creative. And this could be rules that automatically update your ad creative elements, such as image, videos, or even ad copy. So best practices for using automated rules. You're going to start with some simple rules. Begin with basic rules that are easy to set up and maintain, such as pausing ads during certain hours of the day or adjusting bids based on performance. Use specific and measurable conditions. So use measurable metrics such as conversion rates or cost per click to trigger action rules. Use conditional logic. So use conditional logic to create rules that are triggered by specific events or conditions, such as a drop in conversion rate or an increase in the cost per click. Monitor and adjust your rules regularly. Regularly monitor your automated rules and adjust them as needed to ensure that they're achieving your desired outcomes. Now, here's some advantages of using automated rules. Time savings. So automated rules can save you a significant amount of time by automatically managing your ad campaigns, allow you to focus on other tasks. Now, I'm not saying to automate the entire thing, but many times, if you're like myself, I like to log into ad accounts, look over everything, and sometimes just getting set up can take a little while, getting the right report pulled up, really looking at the numbers. Well, there's a lot of time savings if you have some benchmarks that are automatically managed by using something like automated rules. Consistency. This is one of my favorites. Automated rules can ensure consistency in your ad campaigns as they follow predefined rules and don't rely on human judgment, like when someone's going to check the ad account, how often they check the ad account, how someone's looking at the data versus someone maybe in another department looking at data. We love the consistency across the board. Faster reaction times. Since automated rules are always working, you can always make them work. They can react a lot faster to changes in your ad campaigns than humans can, allowing you to quickly adapt to changes in the market. And scalability. Automated rules can manage multiple ad campaigns simultaneously, making them ideal for large advertising operations. I mean, really, in my experience with the agency, if someone's managing 5 to 7 clients, that's a lot of clients to maintain, depending on what they're doing. If they're doing ad creative analysis, reporting, and also running the ads. However, we can see someone running 10 to 12 ad accounts a month as they're using automated rules. Now, if some of these ad accounts just have consistent performance with the same consistent offer all the time, we can see these automated rules can really help scale out individual people's management of ad accounts. The other thing that we see too is just the overall consistency. So if we set some baselines overall for the company, we can see some scalability. The reason is because everyone's on the exact same page. Everyone knows what the next steps are going to be. And we like these automated rules because they essentially follow the rules of the entire marketing team and department versus one person's decision-making process. The disadvantages of using automated rules: lack of human touch. Automated rules may not be able to account for nuances, contextual factors that humans would understand. Like automated rule wouldn't understand the difference between Black Friday or just some other regular Thursday that we're running ad campaigns that would respond differently. Limited flexibility. Automated rules are limited to the conditions and actions that you set up and may not be able to adapt to changing market conditions. Limited creativity. Automated rules may not come up with creative solutions to complex problems. So there's a lot going on, like with the economy or a specific offer or timing of the year. The thing is that these automated rules may kind of rule out some of these other complex problems that we're dealing with overall. It just globally, it doesn't see the numbers like we do. Risk of over-optimization. This is a big one. Automated rules may over-optimize your ad campaigns, leading to a decrease in performance over time. And dependence on technology. This is not a set it and forget it. This is an assistant that will help, but automated rules rely on technology, which can fail or become outdated, leading to a loss of effectiveness. Let's jump into a real-world application that covers exactly this. Automated rules in action. So real-world application here, automated rules can help you become less emotionally involved in the fluctuation of KPIs. Automated rules can assist in scaling or turning off non-performing assets effortlessly. And if you're running more than 5+ campaigns at a time, you may consider sitting down once per month to develop an SOP, a standard operating procedure on how your team manages automated rules the entire team lives by. So everyone's one big mastermind and just not one person trying to be a lone ranger to make all these decisions. Example number one as we walk through this. I'm going to walk through this just a little bit, but what you can see right here is this is double ROAS. If it went double ROAS, it went good. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to increase the daily budget. We're actually going to double it. We're going to increase it by 100% right here. And we're actually going to go up to the max of the daily budget of $100. We're going to check this on an action frequency of once a week. And as long as we are breaking even, we're going to double ad spend. We want to take a look over the last 7 days. Basically, what does this look like? As I've talked about in previous lessons, is we want to look at the cumulative numbers, and then we'll schedule this to actually happen daily. We'll get kind of notified on what's going to happen next. So we're going to check this daily, and let me show you what's going to happen next. So there's a couple of different actions that you can set up your rules by. So this could be turning off ads, turning on ads. What I really like to use with our team is send notifications. So at least we have some global SOPs or standard operating procedures that says, hey, if this goes above this cost per acquisition, do this. If it's below this cost acquisition, do this. If it's in between this cost per acquisition, do this. So what we want to make sure of is we can use any of those parameters right here inside of the action column. And then we can decide, okay, what are we going to do exactly? Is this a percentage increase? Is it a dollar increase? And you can scroll through the different options here. Action frequency. So how often do you want this rule to run? Some people I know who are scaling really aggressively check their stats every hour. And by the third hour or by the fifth hour of the day, if they're not getting sales, they pause the campaign for that day just so they don't bleed out any other spend. Other people that I know like to check it daily, every couple of hours. You really get to set this on your own. And you could figure out the overall maximum length you're taking a look at right here. This is the window I always like to take a look at is over the last 7 days. So if I have 1 or 2 bad days, I don't want the automated rules to freak out and start to decrease my ad spend. I want to take a look at the cumulative average over the last 7 days when I'm setting up my automated rules for the most part. The other thing you're going to take a look at is, take a look at conditions. There's you can pretty much choose any of the metrics inside of here: time spent, frequency results, cost per result. I'm usually focused on just cost per results, and that's pretty much it. It's either cost per results or ROAS, return on ad spend. Very rarely I have some automated rules to turn off on spend if a client has a really strict budget. Click-through rates, for example, can vary all over, and it doesn't necessarily mean I have to have a really great click-through rate to get really great conversion. So typically, again, I'm just really looking at the cost per acquisition and ROAS overall when I'm setting up these rules. So we're going to schedule this overall. Rules are going to run as often as possible. They could run every 30 to 60 minutes, or we just run them daily at midnight, or we can set up a custom rule as well too, adjust when to run the rules at specific times. I always, of course, like to get a notification via email right down here anytime that these rules run. Now, let me just show you an example here. So scale if good. And here's essentially what this is in example number 2. So scale if good. So I'm going to increase a daily budget by 20%. Maximum daily budget is $100. I'm going to take a look at this once daily. As long as the cost per result is less than $5, keep scaling. Time range. I'm going to include today and the last 3 days when taking a look at this number. Now, what you can do is you can layer automated rules. So for example, all the ad sets that we're running with this is, hey, if we're running leads and the leads are under $5, keep scaling it. I'm going to show you another example in a minute. If it's not at $5, when we start turning down ad spend. This is example number 3, and that is exactly that. So let's say we lower ad sets where spend is greater than $10 and the cost per lead is over $5. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to decrease daily budget by 30%. Minimum daily floor budget is going to be $1. So we'll let it run all the way on down to $1. Check it every 12 hours. And basically just got to make sure though, over the last 3 days, they spent a minimum of $8. What Facebook now does is they have a recommendation here, and it says recommended ad lifetime impression condition. Basically, add a lifetime impression is greater than 8,000 condition. I'm going to show you this in another example. But essentially what Facebook is saying is they're saying, hey, look, unless we have 8,000 impressions, it's really hard to make sure that this automated rule is actually working. Meaning that not the rule itself, but can you even get $5 leads with having less than 8,000 impressions to really have the AI learn? So Facebook's basically telling us, hey, for our AI machine learning to learn more, run 8,000 impressions before you make a decision to turn stuff off. This we just set up with, hey, in the last 3 days, we spent $8. It's probably better to go with impressions. This was set up a little while ago. So I want you to look at the time range, the maximum time range for making any decisions. And I want you to take a look at this continuously if you need a lower ad spend. And then a couple of other automated rules that we have here. Here's a custom rule you can set up, and this is just you building out your own rules. So this is going to apply globally. So for instance, if I'm running a bunch of different conversion campaigns, it's going to run it for all of them, either all active campaigns, all active ad sets, all active ads. So you really got to kind of think this through just a little bit. So if you're running, for instance, let's say 3 campaigns, they're sales campaigns, they're e-commerce campaigns, they may be fairly consistent where you can set up these rules to kind of run everything. The problem is if you have kind of different objectives and different goals on different campaigns that are conversion campaigns, sales conversion campaigns, or lead conversions campaigns, you may run into some conflicting information. So you can see, unfortunately, it's not just picking a campaign, it's kind of all or nothing. Campaigns, ad sets, or ads. And again, here are all the different actions that you can take and check off. So with setting up a custom rule, give the rule a name, apply rules to, you basically click on this, turn off or on ad sets. This is turn off ad sets. Lifetime impressions is more than 8,000. We have enough data. Cost per result is more than $10. Take a look at the maximum range, continuously take a look at it, and this would be shut down. So again, you can set up lots of your own customizations. In my opinion, if you're to sit down with a bunch of team members or even just yourself and pontificate an hour a month to really think through what are some of the things that I can have the automated rules do for me that can make some easy decisions, or if nothing else, at least get notified of the option that something is going right, something is going wrong, or you could make an adjustment overall. So let's take a look at reduced auction overlap. And it's when you create ad sets with overlapping audiences, it's possible that multiple ads from your page could enter into the same auction. too much auction overlap across your page typically results in less predictable performance, especially when scaling your budget. So for example, one of the things that I'll do is I've mentioned before kind of in our CBO training, where I talk about I'll create 6 different ad sets targeting the exact same audience with the same ad creative, all with different target bids. Well, technically, I'm going to have a lot of auction overlap in there. And technically, what's going to happen is sometimes when you're showing ads from the same page into the same audience, sometimes what can happen is it'll cannibalize itself a little bit. Now, I do this for a short testing time frame, and I've never really had any issues with this. And in retargeting, there is some auction overlap, but if you're targeting the same audience with the same ads, where I know people will take campaigns and they'll duplicate 3, 4, 5 campaigns, they're targeting the same audience using the same creative, there's going to be an overlap overall. So what's going to happen is you're basically going to get this option, which you create the rule. It could be turn off overlapping ad sets, increase budgets of remaining ad sets, turn off overlapping ad sets, send notification only. So if we're talking about basically all conversion campaigns, I'm going to do send notification only just to update me because Meta doesn't know the strategy that I'm running. I typically never turn off overlapping ad sets and remaining ad, scale the budget and turn off I don't use those first 2 options at all. Now, using a single image or video, Meta will automatically create multiple versions of your ad and shows a personal variation to each person based on what they're most likely to respond to with this optimized ad creative. Now, Meta will automatically create variations of your ad with different text combinations, media enhancements, and compositional changes. Here's the thing. The following are some of the types of the media enhancements and changes that can occur in this ad creation flow to automatically optimize your creative when likely to improve performance. Sometimes I like this, sometimes I don't. I'll show you exactly what I mean here in just a second. But if you've ever been looking at ads and you're at the ad level, there's a little button right there that says customize for individual people that you can click on, or customize ad for the individual. And essentially what Meta is going to do is it's going to test out like your headline on the image. So you may see an ad that you have an image with, and all of a sudden now there's a headline with like a bar at the top, and you didn't edit that image, or maybe you see the image that has some music in the background. So it can add some variables that sometimes I just don't like. I've even seen ads sometimes where it's just an image and not even really a headline or any description. So let me just kind of show you what Facebook could do automatically. Media enhancements, adjusting the image brightness and contrast. Okay, that's not a big deal. I like that. Applying artistic filters. Well, that would sharpen, adjust the color temperatures, radial blur, stuff like that. And that's okay. I mean, I don't want to see what it is, but you don't get the chance to see it before Facebook does it. Varying aspect ratio, so they'll show the original or crop version of the image depending on what's more likely to improve performance. Again, I kind of like that, but depending on how Meta ends up cropping the image, I might not like it. I don't get a choice. Adding templates to a feed image, and they'll use a set of templates designed to help your image fit feed placements better. Okay, I like that. Ad level changes. So adjustments to the display and the arrangement of components within or around your ad based on what the people seeing your ad will likely respond to. Adding labels. So there's a setting inside of Facebook. We'll add labels to highlight a helpful aspect of your business from your Facebook page, such as like, here's how many likes they have, ratings, here's how often they respond. This is an e-commerce business, free shipping. For instance, these are some of the labels that you can see at the ad level. Typically, this is only for e-commerce. Displaying relevant Facebook comments. So Facebook would display the most relevant Facebook comments below your ad. I do like that. Text combinations. Here's one of the problems that I have. Text you provide may appear as a primary text, or maybe they use it as the headline, or maybe they use your primary text as a description, or the text edited could be for a specific placement where all of a sudden they're going to take your headline and put that text on the top of an image. They're going to change your headline with the description. It can make it interesting. So you either really have 2 options here. Either you turn on standard enhancements and it's just going to make that. I don't like that. I send notification only just so I can see when Facebook believes that they could optimize my images just a little bit better. There's some stuff that I can do on my end. I don't usually automatically turn the standard enhancements on. All right. The other thing is reduce audience fragmentation. The number of active ads in your ad account or from your page plays an important role in achieving predictable, stable, and optimized results. To achieve more predictable, stable, and optimized results, advertisers should monitor active ad volume and ensure they do not exceed the limit per page on ads that they're running or in review. For a lot of people, that's, I believe it's 100 or 150 ads. As your ad spend gets higher and higher, you start to get more access to be able to run more simultaneous ads. We have some clients that are over 500 ads. That's 500 active ads right now. So really, unless you're scaling or you have a lot of content that you're running, I typically don't worry about these ad limits overall. This would be, again, another example. If someone is running a campaign, they're running to the same audience, they're running the same ad creative, they duplicate the campaign, let's just say 5 times. And what's happening is they're targeting the same audience with the budget. Essentially, what I've always been told and I've always found is it's kind of like digging for gold. Is, let's just say we're going to target entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur is like this large gold field where there could be gold, right? Or in this mountain, there could be gold. And it's kind of like when we start to target entrepreneurs, it's almost like Facebook finds this gold vein. So sometimes when we target, we may use multiple campaigns to scale. We may use multiple campaigns, and at the ad set level, same audience, same type of ads, but each one of these different campaigns, it's almost like they find a different gold vein. So what we do for a little while is we do run ABO budgets because we're trying to find these different veins of gold. It kind of works the same way with CBO. The problem is if you start having a ton of ads that are running into the same area, ad fatigue can happen pretty quickly. You can start cannibalizing because you start to bid against yourself for a little bit as you really start to hit scale. So Facebook has this option right here where you could combine ad sets, audiences, and budgets automatically. And basically Meta would keep the best performing ad sets measured by the lowest CPA. But again, the lowest CPA doesn't always mean the highest value client, kind of depending on what you're running overall, or set notifications only. So I only set this on set notifications only because of all the factors that I just told you. It doesn't have all the critical thinking and everything else. If I was running an e-commerce brand that had 50 SKUs, they were all the same thing, and I just ran sales every once in a while, but I just ran, my consistent offers, great, combined ad sets, totally fine. But if I'm really more active in scaling and testing, I'm just hitting the send notification only. All right, recap. So automated rules allow you to automate the optimization of your campaigns by setting rules based on specific performance metrics. And you can use automated rules to adjust your budget, bids, or targeting options based on the performance of your ad set or campaigns. Also, choose the right metrics to base your rules on, such as cost per action, return on ad spend, or click-through rate. I mentioned this before in the lesson. Just to be clear, many times I don't set up rules for click-through rates. The reason being is because sometimes click-through rates are low, but my CPA cost is even lower, which is really exciting. So I don't want to turn something off that could be prematurely. I'm only really looking at CPA typically and ROAS for those automated rules. Set realistic and achievable targets for your metrics and adjust your rules regularly to optimize your campaigns for better results. Let's dive on into the next lesson.